actually want you to do this with me. I wonder how many of you know what's coming. If you've been following this channel for a while, you might have followed along when I made 30 songs in 30 days last year. It started on May 22nd and it was one of the most enjoyable and difficult things that I have ever set myself to do. I said that in the last video actually. Day 30 is done. I can't believe I completed the challenge. I don't know what to say. And since then, I've always had in my head the idea of maybe doing it again, potentially on the same date a year later. And as the dates rolled around, I've gotten more and more excited, but also more and more anxious because I don't feel the need to make full songs anymore in the same way I did last year. It made a lot of sense last year, but right now, some of the most fun I've had in the last few months has been playing around with small snippets of audio and creating little tracks for these videos. So I decided on a whim yesterday that I'm gonna make 30 sounds in 30 days. Now, what does that mean? A sound, I'm defining for this, is just 10 seconds of audio. But it's not quite that simple, and I'll get into a few extra rules which I'm adding in a sec at the end of the video. But before that, I actually want you to do this with me. The thing about a song is not everyone can make a song, and I fully appreciate that. But as I started to think of doing this 10-second thing, it got me thinking, if you haven't picked up an instrument in your life, you haven't opened any music software in your life, you can still make 10 seconds of audio. You can download the Ableton free trial, mess around, look at a few tutorials, and make a sound. And after making a few sounds, you might get better and better and better, and it could be something really cool. And if you've been making music for ages, this could be a really cool thing for you to commit to being creative every single day for 30 days. That's kind of what I'm doing. Some days I might feel like making just 10 seconds and closing my laptop and stopping, and in other days I might feel inspired and want to do a lot more than that, which I fully think might happen a few times. But I don't have to do that. So I am setting up a full section of my Discord dedicated to this challenge, and there'll be a sign up in the description. So if you want to sign up, you have to sign up before day one or you won't be able to participate. Only people who sign up will be able to post. But these channels will be dedicated to people posting their 10 seconds of audio every day. Obviously, if you don't want to post your stuff online, you can just follow along at home without posting anything. But I thought that'd be a really cool place for everyone to share the stuff they're making every single day. As for me though, I'm adding 3 extra rules because I don't want this to just be a commitment to making something every day like it was last year. I want this to also be a commitment to newness. Because one thing I'm learning, and one thing that Coach Bennett actually says, if you've watched my last video, is not to confuse consistent with constant. Constant is doing the same thing over and over and over again. Consistent is doing something consistently, but it can vary, it can be different, and it can create a sense of joy in different ways, even though you're doing something at a regimented time or in a regimented amount. So I don't know what I just said there. But basically, these rules are meant to make that happen. So the first rule is I'm only allowed to make music at the same hour of the day twice throughout the whole challenge. So that means that say on day 1, I make music at 9 AM, on day 2, or for the rest of the challenge, I'm only allowed to make music at 9 AM one other day, which gives me a minimum of 15 hours of the day that I'll have to use up. It might have to be more, we'll see. I don't know how that's gonna work. The second rule is I have to make music in 2 new locations every week. Take a guess how many locations I made music in last year. 3. And 27 sessions were spent in the exact same spot. I want to change that. It could be a lot more fun to mix it up. And then the third one, I have to make music with 1 new person per week. I spend a lot of time making music by myself, and I think working with some other people could really spice it up. So that's it. Those 3 things together, 10 seconds of audio, it's a commitment to creativity and it's a commitment to newness. And I'm really excited. I'm really scared, and I don't know how this is gonna work. And I'm also gonna film this. It's not gonna be the same filming as last year. Last year I set up cameras in every session and filmed every second of it. I don't think I'm gonna do the same thing this year, but I'll figure that out along the way. But the videos will get a little bit more rustic. They're not gonna be like the polished ones, which I've been putting out over the last few months. But yeah, if you wanna take part, there's a link in the description to signing up. And if you just wanna follow along, by all means. And I'll see you on day 1, I guess. I'm pretty scared.